Hi, good morning. This is Giacomo Apex Training. Thank you for joining us here on this educational series on what to bring, what to wear, and how to do it when you hit the gym. So what I'm going to talk to you about today is the importance of owning a good pair of weightlifting shoes. It is quite important. You know, like how when you go to a party you get dressed up with a certain attire, or when you go to an interview, well, we got to think about when you hit the gym. It's like going to an interview. You want to make sure you have your proper equipment, something tacky for your hands. Liquid chalk's a good idea because most gyms don't allow powder chalk. A weightlifting belt as you go heavier in weight. And actually, most importantly, is a good pair of lifting shoes. I cannot impress upon you. If there's nothing else that goes in your gym bag besides a little snack, a good pair of shoes. I've seen time over and time again people go into the gym and they're like in their sneakers and they're like sticking a 5-pound weight behind them, a pair, one for each foot. Nothing worse than having a load on your back and you're trying to tiptoe, you're trying to like do the backward moonwalk to get your feet on these nickel plates. That's like a rep wasted, to be honest with you. Anyways, getting back to the discussion of things, the reason why you want to have a weightlifting shoe, I'm going to use mine as a demonstration. They don't make this particular model anymore. This was back in the day of Matthias Steiner, who won the gold medal in the super heavyweight class. It looks like a pair of tap dancing shoes, but I was told by one of my good friends, Jim Schmitz, that this is actually considered a collector's item. It's an Adidas shoe. It's full leather. Has an interesting sole in the bottom where there's a break through the arch. As you see, has a mid-tarsal strap. These shoes worked okay for me. They were a little bit too narrow, just to speak of, just for my somewhat platypus-looking feet. But anyways, getting back to the order of things, the reason why you want a weightlifting shoe is it has that essential thing called a 1/4 inch heel lift. You need this heel lift because what it does, it helps you to keep your hips angled in the proper position. So instead of without the shoe, you'd be like bowing back. I can't really, I'll show this on the next video, but again, having the proper weightlifting shoes allows you to put your pelvis in the proper position so that you can optimally get a solid push off, maximum push off, which means maximum force through your legs. Okay, all right, so anyways, first thing I want to do is go over the Reebok men's weightlifting shoe. It's pretty nice. It's kind of like a cobalt blue color almost, and these are relatively inexpensive. They run about $60 a pair. This is what the bottom looks like. It's got that kind of grid hatching marks, and it has a nice rubber grab to it. So it's a really great shoe. Again, for $60, it is a steal. It's very functional. It's good for like your mid-width foot size. My athletes, I have three athletes that use this type of shoe, and they're very comfortable in it. They're very pleased with it. And again, for $60, I mean, that's like dinner for people at a family restaurant. Okay, so that is the Reebok men's lifter cross training shoe. Okay, so I will actually provide a link for these types of shoes through Amazon. It's where we purchase most of our shoes. Okay, and then this shoe right here is a Nike Rami Leo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that name right, but this shoe is maybe about, I'm guessing about maybe 7 or 8 years old. It ran about $200 for me to purchase back in the day, so I think the going rate right now is maybe $230. But it has an average foot width. It has a decent arch support inside. It actually comes with an extra set of inserts too. I'm not sure if it's just to take up some toe box room, or if your insoles get so sweaty or whatever, you can just switch them out. Soles can be a little bit slippery. You can see there's a little bit of a gloss sheen to it. It's a very rigid sole. Not really, well, it's not too bad, but it's a pretty stiff shoe for those that want a snug fit without much give. Very aesthetic, as you can see. I guess they're equivalent to kind of like the Air Jordans of weightlifting, I suppose. But I wore these for a little while. I didn't particularly care for them. For me, they're a little bit too snug around the toe box, so I passed them on to one of my lifters. Okay, all right, so that is the Nike Rami Leos. All right, the next shoe I'm going to talk about is the Nordic lifting shoe. Okay, This was a screaming deal. I don't know how I ended up scoring this for only 40 bucks a pair at Amazon. But unfortunately, for whatever reason, the price is up to $90. It's for a wider foot. It has a nice grip on the bottom. Be careful when you buy, if you decide to buy the Nordic lifting shoe, the brand of it. Make sure that you have the indentations for foot grab. Okay, the first pair I bought, it was smooth. It was dangerous actually. If you're just doing like deadlifts and such, this is not even a deadlift shoe. I mean, for squatting. Okay, if you're just to squat, it may not be imperative to have these grooves indented into the shoe. The indentations are to provide that traction. So I ended up returning them and getting this pair instead. Okay, so again, they run about 90 bucks. It's very light, it has some aesthetic looks to it. So, and it's very breathable for those that have like sweaty feet. That might be the way to go. Okay, this is my well-loved, well-used shoe. It's a Penlay shoe. I've had this for maybe about 6 or 7 years, if not a little bit longer. I like the wide toe box. Has got a double strap. It's wider through the midfoot here too, so less likely that your foot will. Well, it shouldn't roll. Usually if you're going to roll, it's the ankle part. But it has a nice rubber sole to it. I can't really say enough good things about this shoe. Aesthetically, probably not in a high theft market. It's not really super pretty per se, but you're going for functional lifting, not fashion lifting. Okay. All right. So that's my review on the weightlifting shoes. I don't have a picture of the Adidas Men's Power Lift 4. Check that out to an athlete. It's for an average foot width, and it's a good shoe. Adidas makes a really good shoe, as well as Nike. Nike tends to work well, I think, for people with narrower feet. Adidas more for like wider feet. From my personal experience, being a weightlifter for 30 years. What I'm going to take a sidebar note and talk about this type of shoe. It's a Converse low-cut Chuck Taylor shoe, and this is commonly used in the powerlifting world. It has a nice flat sole, sole. Not much of it. It's not a heel lift. Almost like a sandal. A little bit of cushion, but not too much. And it's meant to give you full foot contact, so you get a maximum push off, so you don't lose any of your what I call your push off force when you're taking the bar off the ground. So all the force generated through your hips and such, and through your own body, it's transferred into the ground, into Mother Earth, and so that helps the bar to drive up off the ground more easily. So when you're deadlifting, you don't really want a heel lift, because then it makes you it puts you further away from the ground, and it makes it hard to kind of what I call lock it in, and so you can actually bringing your extensors up and back when you're deadlifting. So this is an excellent deadlifting shoe. They run about $60, black on black. I purchased a pair through the gym, of course, for one of my athletes, my strongman guy. So anyways, there you have it. Get a pair of weightlifting shoes if you can't afford a pair for whatever reason, or you kind of sitting. You want to test drive. If you're not too squeamish, maybe go to a local bowling alley and seeing if they can offer you to sell you a pair of their old bowling shoes. Even get I don't know, even a pair of dress shoes. If you have a pair of dress shoes, what you're going for is that lift, that 1/4 inch lift, plus or minus a couple millimeters, and that will help to set your pelvis. It'll allow you to maintain optimal trunk alignment relative to your hips, your push off. It really does make a difference. So invest in a good pair of shoes. Okay, my friends. All right. Thank you for joining me here on this shoe review. And again, check out the links below, and then you'll be able to get the shoes that you need. If you have any questions, please comment or call me, whatever. Okay, thanks. Bye.